What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Adrian from Game Reviews Malaysia. Welcome back to the channel. So with regard to the Lord of the Rings Online, a lot of you have asked me about what kind of plugins I'm using and how did I manage to change the look of my UI and stuff. So I thought I'd put together this quick video to give you all the information you need. Firstly, for newer players, yes, you can change the look of the UI and skin of the game by downloading and installing files from sites like Lotro interface. I've gotten most of my plugins from this site, and it gives you pretty detailed instructions on how to install and use them. I'll provide the link for each of the plugins and skins that I use in the description box below, so make sure to check that out. So let's start with the UI. To alter the look of my UI and most noticeably the skill bar, I use GRSS Skin Collection, which can be downloaded from Lotro interface. The collection comes with some awesome designs featuring incredible themed art styles for the dwarves, elves, men of the west, and even monsters and Isengard. These skins usually have two versions, a large version and a short version, and the difference is really only in aesthetics. The shorter version will give you a cleaner skill bar and also makes the map smaller so players can take a peek while moving your character around, which is convenient. Some skins in the collection also automatically enlarges some panels such as the dressing room, which makes previewing outfits much easier compared to the default UI skin. Moving on, if you play the Runekeeper class, then you might want to check out Love's RK Attunement Belt, which is a skin that alters the Runekeeper's attunement panel from the traditional pips to show numbers instead. This is really handy for me as I'm more responsive to numerical cues instead of squinting my eyes trying to count the number of pips on the default panel. And now we move on to the good stuff, which are the plugins. Whether you're a newer player or a casual, don't feel intimidated by these plugins as they really do enhance your gameplay from a convenience point of view, and I highly recommend the following plugins. Installing plugins is also just as easy as installing UI skins, so be sure to read the instructions on the website. The first plugin is called TitanBars, which I absolutely love. It's the thin bar that you see at the very top of the screen. It's incredibly convenient as it can show you all the information you need at a glance. It can tell you what the real time is, what the in-game time of day is, and how long till it turns, and you can set it to show your currency, like gold, skirmish marks, medallions, and so much more. Probably the best thing about TitanBars is that you can take a look at what's in not only your own vault and bags, but in your Altus vaults and bags too. It comes with a search feature, so looking up crafting materials or other items becomes very easy. The second plugin that I highly recommend is called BuffBars. The plugin comes with two UI elements, the BuffBar counter and the BuffBar slider, which you can see at the bottom right of the screen in blue. The bars basically shows you what buffs or debuffs are on you at a glance, along with the timer to indicate how long it's been on you and how soon it will disappear. The sliders are just for visual cue, which is very handy in PvMP or raiding, and even on landscapes, just for you to know when's the best time to pop a skill or a potion. And speaking of potions, the plugin can also be customized to show the relevant potion when under a certain dispellable effect, which is great as you won't have to use up space on your skill bars to slot potions or manually open your bags to consume one. The next plugin is called PALANTIR, and it's the oval health and power bars that you see in the middle of the screen between my character, which I set to appear only during combat. PALANTIR is another one of those plugins that I can't play without these days, and it's such a useful indicator that shows my health quickly without having to move my eyes all the way to the top left where my character portrait is located, which is the default location for your health and power bars. This can be a chore, especially if you game on a large monitor and can't afford to glance up during the heat of a critical battle in PvMP or during a raid boss fight. You can also change the colors of the bars, set its opacity so it doesn't interfere with immersion, and just like BuffBars, you can also set it to proc the appropriate potion when you're under a certain dispellable effect. And finally, if you do PvMP or want to jump into the Atmores for the long haul, PvMP Plus is a great plugin to have, and it has many great uses. The first of which is the renown tracking bar at the top, which shows you how much renown you currently have and how much is needed to hit the next rank. You can change the size of the bar to your liking, and it also shows you how much commendations you have, so you'll know when you're near the cap and need to head back to Gramsfoot or GV to spend some. The second function of this plugin is something I call the SOS. It's a small map that you can bring up with a click of a button, usually found on the right side of the screen. If you're wandering around solo and jump into a whole raid of enemy players, you can call out their location in the OOC chat and anyone with the same plugin can see your message in chat, open up their map, and see exactly where you are to bring in the cavalry. What's more, if you're a monster player, the map shows all the spots that you can automatically map to, so if you have your map skills, you can click on the markers on the map to jump right there. So those are the skins and plugins that I use, and once again I highly recommend checking them out if you want to spice up your Lotro gameplay up a notch. As for how to load the plugins once installed, there are two ways. The first is through the character login screen where you'll see the Manage Plugin button. Clicking that will show you a list of all your installed plugins, and you can set them to load for all characters or for individual ones. The second way is to manually enter the command in-game, and the command to do so should be displayed on the screen right now. And that's it for this Lotro plugins video. Hopefully that answers everybody's questions about the plugins I have in game. But if there's anything else you'd like to know, do leave a comment below. If you found this video helpful, do hit the like button and help the channel grow by subscribing to see more MMO content and game reviews. Once again, my name is Adrian from Game Reviews Malaysia, and I thank you for watching.